Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today, it's just the mayor and I. We're taking a look back, and we're going to take a look forward, peek at 2020. Mayor, good to have you with
Hello,
us.
Gene.
And
long time no see.
long time no see, and let me wish you a belated congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the third term.
I'm glad I'm sitting here as the mayor. You're not someone else you're
I'm sure
talking
you are.
to. Yes.
Mayor, what motivated you to run for a third term? The first 8 years, you had a pretty tumultuous 8 years. A lot happened in this township. What drove you to a third term?
It was a tumultuous, but yet we accomplished so much. And I have to admit, I really do enjoy it. I really do enjoy being a mayor. I enjoy solving problems. We always heard the saying, give a busy man something to do.
Yes.
I love a challenge. I still love a challenge.
Right.
So I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can, and as long as I feel confident in my abilities, which I still do, even now stronger after 8 years.
Sure.
Now that I'm in high school, as they say, my freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
No, I really do enjoy it. The opportunity to help people, to get things done. When people says you can't do it, I always take that.
Yeah.
And we got it done. Things they said would never be done, got done. We had a really good 2019 in town.
Yes.
A lot of good things happened. But now we're on 2020. Like I say, how's it going? I would say, well, give it 10 minutes and it will change.
And something will change.
And something will happen, and that holds true. So.
As you traveled around the township during
Yes.
the campaign, what sort of resonated with the residents, with the voters? What did they particularly look for?
I
What
was
did they
surprised when I knocked on the door and everybody greeted me with saying, "Hi, Mayor Henry." I didn't know that many people in town knew me. And if they didn't know me, their kids knew me. And I might have told you once before.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned
when the
that,
parents
yes.
were looking me at the door, and here comes a kid running, "Hey, it's the mayor." What else? What their words that resonated was, "Thank you for all you do. Keep doing what you're doing." And if they did have a complaint, we wrote it down, and believe it or not, we took care of a lot of issues during campaign season.
I imagine they all
and
came
people
out
said,
then,
"We'll
huh?
vote for you if you do this." Well,
Okay.
we did, and we called them on their bluff. They had to, and I think the numbers spoke for themselves. The
Yeah.
residents of Old Bridge supported good government and the ability to get things done, ability to deal with any crisis. As you know, over the last 8 years,
Yes,
we
sir.
were no stranger to anything, and we were able
Right.
to handle anything that was thrown at us.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mayor. Mayor, the other thing I think this year was particularly a big year was for the Business Alliance, for the Economic Development Office. A lot went on there. If you want to just highlight, I know the
we've
hospital.
been working
and-
hard. When Steve came on,
Yes.
working in 19, I think, was a culmination of everybody's efforts.
Yes, sir.
Things like this don't happen overnight. We know that. Economic development it's not revolution, it's evolution.
Yes, sir.
Trying to convince businesses to come to town, trying to convince businesses to stay in town, try to convince business to expand there. And we reached a point in 2019 where everybody bought in, the businesses, the public, the council, everybody bought into that message. And it really paid off in 2019 with a lot of good things happening, and was a result of a lot of years of hard work.
Well, it seems that this expansion that is taking place at Reardon Bay Medical Center, this 10,000 square foot expansion, $40 million is huge.
We had a presentation, we had a groundbreaking ceremony. Basically, the whole first floor, 90% of the first floor
Yes,
at
sir.
that hospital is going to be an ER, state-of-the-art
Yeah.
ER, where it's going to be able to deal with every crisis. Anyone who's visited the emergency room over the last 40 years have seen it's a small, it's compact, very limited. That's all going to change with Hackensack Meridian, putting an estimated $40 million into that space, and that's a big plus for the town. We now have access to state-of-the-art emergency room within the next 2 years. It's that big of a project. It's going to take 2 years to complete.
Well, really? 2
Yes,
years.
because they got to keep the ER open,
Yes.
renovate. Then they got to move the ER, and then they got to renovate the space where the ER is now. So it's an ambitious project. I thank Raritan Bay for having the guts to undertake such a project like that in a hospital facility that is that old.
Right.
So it's a
Well, it certainly
great investment
changes
in the community.
The expectation, or the reputation, I should say, of that as a bump and bruise hospital.
Yes.
It's certainly moving up in character and in reputation.
Yes,
isn't
and
it?
that's going to be accomplished over years and years. That's not going to happen overnight either,
No.
just because a new sign or a new name is on that building.
Right.
They're going to have to build the trust of residents. And almost every presentation we went to, people would raise their hand and had a complaint, about how they were treated. And Hackensack was right there. They took it on the chin and admitted it, that so many things need to be improved. And here they are, putting their money where their mouth is.
Right,
Private
Steve.
rooms in the emergency room. There's no more curtains. You're going to have access to
Oh, really?
psychological help right away. With all the other things that are going, mental health issues, and not only in Old Bridge but throughout the whole country.
Right.
You're going to be, have treatment to that. You're going to have access to that treatment right away, because a lot of the issues that you were brought to the emergency room are from mental illness.
Yeah, I would think that the physicians that are associated with the hospital have got to like this.
And they're bringing new ones in, on a monthly basis. I've met a lot of them at the groundbreaking.
Yeah, really?
Some names that you really, any medical magazine you open up, you see their names.
Mm-hmm. That's the top.
At the
whatever,
top, and they're also writing articles and
especially,
all kinds of new advances in medicine. They're Hackensack Meridian is a leader in the state of New Jersey.
Oh, definitely. Now they're taking over New Jersey pretty much.
Pretty much, and we're so lucky to have them in town.
Yeah.
It does give us such an advantage over other towns.
Right. It seems, too, that Steve played a large part in sitting down with these people in advance and briefing them and going over the characteristics
When they built the office building a
demographics.
few years ago, we brought him in, we sat him down. And again, another huge undertaking to build that building with all the imaging. And, the town worked with the hospital. And at the groundbreaking ceremony for the ER, the hospital couldn't say enough good things about Steve and my administration and how they helped them through that process, and gave us kudos and really helped it through. And we're going to do the same thing with the emergency room, because, as I said, it's very complex.
Oh, I bet it is.
With the inspections
the
and
ER,
all the other
inspections,
kind of
code
things.
people.
Code constantly changing.
We don't want to talk about the code people. That's okay.
No, they're good people. They're all good.
Mayor, the other thing that's come to town and seems to be on the verge of opening, which we needed badly in town, is the hotel.
Yes.
The Hampton Inn. Where do we stand with that?
The Hampton Inn had got delayed a few times. In the beginning, it was delayed with appeals from a competitor. The zoning wasn't there. The council had to change the zoning.
Okay.
So now the hotel was permitted. The owner had to make some financial decisions and get some financial backing. He got it started. The hotel is about 90% complete. So we're hoping for a grand opening sometime in the spring.
Okay, so this will be on, for the benefit of the residents, this will be on Spring Valley Road.
It's on
between
Spring Valley
18
Road.
and
If you
9.
go down Old Amboy Road, you're going to run right into it.
Yes, okay.
On 18, you'll have to make a little U-turn and come back. On Route 9, you'll get off on Spring Valley Road southbound. Route 9 southbound, get on Spring Valley Road, and it'll be
right
on your
there.
left.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
it's where the big parking lot is, where all the trucks and
Now
cars are
it'll be
parked.
filled in,
That
huh?
narrows it down.
Okay. Mayor, the other thing, a couple of new buildings coming to town. 3 new buildings going up
That's
over
a good
by
sign,
Lawrence
yeah.
Parkway.
Yeah.
When did that happen? That seems new.
We, it's very. They see the workforce here, and people want to invest in Old Bridge, so they're putting up buildings.
Really? And
We have a number of them coming to town.
they all seem to be over toward Lawrence Parkway?
We have some on Lawrence Parkway, and we have some on Texas and Marlborough Road. There's one, a pretty substantial size office building going up over there.
Okay, that again is a tribute to the township, huh?
Yeah.
Which brings me full circle to this new publishing of the bond rating, AA1+.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit. What
It's
does that
one
mean?
degree below AAA, which is the highest bond rating
Yeah.
you can get. The financial institutions grade a town on its financial strength.
Yes, sir.
And they looked at Old Bridge and said, wow, this town is in good shape based on all the numbers, based on the stuff that a lot of people don't understand. And they've given us, when we borrow money to do our capital projects, the banks give us an interest rate. And that interest rate is based on that bond rating.
Yeah.
And right now, Old Bridge, I'm going to say, is receiving the historically low rates for its bond, which allows us to do more for less money. We're putting, when I first came in, let's go way back to
Okay, we'll
way back,
roll back.
8 years
Okay.
ago, the township did not invest a penny
Right.
into its residents, which is, they couldn't afford it.
That's right.
They could not afford investing into the township. Since I've taken over, this year alone, when we see our 2020 capital budget, we're probably going to be pushing close to about $7 million of investment. And that $7 million is going to be borrowed at an interest rate of a little under 1.5%.
Really?
Based on that bond rating. So I'm not going to say it's free money, but it's very little interest cost. And anyone who pays a mortgage or a credit card sees that interest rate.
All right. That's what I was getting at, the
Yes.
impact it has on the township and
As
the
a-
residents is
It
significant.
is definitely a positive impact on the community.
Yeah. Okay. Mayor, another thing I think it was reflected in the Star Ledger article too. They used an interesting quote I thought there, and that was called Old Bridge an appealing township.
Yes.
That was pretty good article. Pretty good tours of cities they were doing, tours of communities.
Yeah. And again, I failed to mention that in the beginning as I walked around the town. A lot of people had just moved to Old Bridge here in the last 6 months. I said, well, why'd you move to Old Bridge? And they said, well, it's a safe community. We know that. We know it. They have the great school system here in Old Bridge.
Right.
And believe it or not, Mayor, it's affordable. And I don't know if that's an oxymoron in New Jersey, but Old Bridge is probably one of the lowest tax towns in the state. We're the lowest tax in Middlesex County,
Yes, sir.
based on per capita income.
Right.
We take the least amount of money than the other towns do in Middlesex County. It's close to transportation, Route 9 corridor, close to the
Right.
city. It's just very appealing. It's a little oasis, I think. We're only minutes from chaos.
Right.
But right here in Old Bridge, it's a nice little place to live, nice place to work, and most of all, it's a nice place to raise a family.
Raise a family, exactly.
Yeah.
Is the impact that Governor Murphy's having on some of these charges, is that going to visibly affect
It has
the
a
budgets?
negative impact on Old Bridge, a negative, very negative. We
Yeah.
had to close the school because
I
of
was gonna touch
Governor
on that,
Murphy's
yeah.
reduction in our school funding, which I think is just insane. I don't know what other word to describe
Right.
it. It's very irresponsible to tell the people of Old Bridge you're not paying your fair share of taxes because you're a lower tax. Now you have to pay more
Right.
to support your school system. It just makes absolutely no sense. Here we're trying to do the right thing, providing a good school system with a 98 to 99% graduation
Graduate
rate.
rate,
And we cut our funding, and yet they increased the school that has a 50% graduation rate that they've been increasing for years and years and years, and that graduation rate has never gone above 50%. So when you look at all the things that could have been done, reducing Old Bridge's school funding is probably the worst thing that could have been done because it has a negative impact on our community. Everyone pays for the schools here in Old Bridge.
And that wasn't appealable. You couldn't appeal
No,
that.
we tried. We went to Trenton. They look at you, and you would think, Gene, I've said this, that
Right.
in education you'd have to deal with some of the brightest people in the state of New Jersey. Well, it's not the fact. I mean, some of the people that shouldn't have positions we had to deal with when it comes to the commissioners of education and the people that run our education system. Instead of looking at the problem, which is the school funding formula,
Right.
don't even want to
Yes.
hear it.
Right.
They don't want to even look at it. That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
The funding formula doesn't work. It takes so many things that not into account. It doesn't take transportation costs into account. How can you have a town the size of Old Bridge and not consider transporting
Yeah.
almost
What is it,
10,000 kids?
8,000, 9,000,
That don't matter.
10,000, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Security.
That doesn't seem.
In today's day and age, our school funding formula in the state of New Jersey allows nothing for school security.
In today's day and
They
age.
kept their heads in the sand
I
in
know,
today's
that
day
is
and
definitely-
age.
definitely
We
given-
spend millions of dollars in school security.
I know, given
here in
what's
Old
going
Bridge.
on in the
Yes,
country
and if you
generally.
didn't, can you imagine?
Wow.
So the state is just totally incompetent. That's just
Right.
my opinion, and the people running it should go.
Okay, Mayor, well, on that point, if you don't mind, if you just hold on for a moment. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break. We're talking with Mayor Henry about the past, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the future in a minute. Please stay with us.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help,
Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today, the mayor and I are chatting about a number of issues that have gone on, and we're taking a look at 2020. Mayor, if we can pick up where we left off, we were talking about some of the virtues, the expansion, the growth possibilities of the township. One thing that has come up again, and that's the fact that Old Bridge is one of the safest cities in the United States, particularly in our population range, 50 to 70,000.
Yeah, that's a feather in everybody's cap that lives in this town. Based on our demographics, based on our population, based how close we are to chaos, and yet our crime reports, our statistics here in Old Bridge are way, 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 way below the average. And to come out 15 in a market where it's got to be thousands and thousands of cities,
small
our
town,
size.
50 to 70,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big.
So that's police department, the residents. It's just the people that get along, and I mean we're not exempt from.
But
We've seen it over, but they were all just anomalies. It's not an ongoing. We don't have shootings every day. It's like when you look in other towns.
no, boy, I'll tell you, we sure don't. Yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy. And
Mayor,
that Wild West isn't far from here.
yeah, is what? I'm sorry.
But that Wild West type attitude,
Yes, I know.
atmosphere isn't far from here.
Mayor, part of it though has to be, as you said just now, attributable to the police department, and you're adding again new officers.
Yes, no one can forget what it was when I came on in those council
It was
meetings
very
when I had to
thin,
make some tough decisions. And I promised 8 years ago that we were going to rebuild this department, we were going to make it sustainable, and that no mayor would have to go through what I had to go through 8 years ago. And we've been very successful at that. December 30th, I put 4 additional officers on. That brings the number of officers I hired, I think, close to 40, which is about almost half the
I was
department
going to
when
say,
I
what's
came
the
on.
total population? Of the
Right
department
now, right now, as we speak today, Gene, we have about 102 sworn officers. On the maximum allowed is like 104.
Okay,
So I might have to go to council to expand that number as the town grows. The goal of myself and the chief is to maintain response times and be able to be on site within 2 to 3 minutes, regardless of the time of day, regardless of the number of calls. So that takes boots on the ground. And our squads, we've been increasing, maintaining the size of our squads. We're looking to expand the traffic and safety division. As you know, one other thing people complained about when I walked around was speeding and driving habits. So we're looking to expand that department with some additional officers that will be assigned to enforcing traffic and safety and be able to react for accidents throughout the entire town. So that was a goal, to build a department, and we're almost there.
Yeah, and it fits into the whole premise we're talking about here, the whole picture we're talking about. Mayor, speaking of that and talking about the population, 2020 national census.
Yeah.
How is that going to impact the township? What do people
Well, it
have
has a
to
great
know? What
impact.
do we have to do?
It has a huge impact on the town, and a lot of people don't realize it. But when it comes to federal dollars, that's what they use to distribute federal dollars. So, as I like to say, numbers here in Old Bridge are going to equal federal dollars back to Old Bridge, back to Middlesex County. And we've been lacking with that. I've met with all the mayors in Middlesex County at our Christmas event, and they admitted that a lot of money that's sent to Washington, we don't get our fair share back because of the numbers. So it's important that everyone in Old Bridge participate in the census. And also, if anyone's looking for some part-time job opportunities, go online to the United. They're looking for.
Is that what they would do?
They're
Go
looking
online
for.
to
They're looking for
US government
people that
dot-
would work in Old Bridge and go around and take the census. And it's decent wage. You can make your own hours. So I encourage anyone looking for a few extra dollars, and they have
Good
the
point,
ability,
good point.
especially college
College.
people that are off for
young
the summer
people,
in college. I believe it's going to run from March to July or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Starts
sure,
in
but to
March
go
to
online,
July,
and if you're looking for employment over the summer, I would encourage you to go there
Mayor,
and take part in that event. It only comes every 10 years,
Every
like
10
the
years,
locust,
yeah, right.
the census.
Would you bet that the population in township is going to be close to 70,000
Yes,
when all the
yes,
heads are counted?
yes, and I believe our population is aging, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Got to be careful how you say age.
Yes, I'm aging too, but I think you're going to see that we're older here in Old Bridge. A lot of people are staying, having less kids.
Yeah.
But staying here in Old Bridge. And I think that's important for a community, that people don't bail out, they stay.
Well, we're going
And
to
they
be
live out their
talking
life
more
here.
about the census with Brian
Yes.
Enright, I know, following up with him to discuss it in a broader way, but that's interesting. Okay. Mayor, a couple things, new things this year. We have a new library director.
Yes, Michael, yes.
And he's succeeding Nancy Cohn, who did a heck of a job over there. What,
Yeah,
what else is new?
I didn't hide. I was on the
Right,
panel that hired
right.
Michael. Extending credentials, comes from the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
He originally here on the East Coast, but he relocated to take a job on the West Coast. Wanted to come back to be around his immediate family, and we were lucky to get him. I mean, he's very skilled, knowledgeable.
Is he? Yeah.
Especially in today, Gene, as you know, it's not the library we grew up with.
No, it
It's
sure
a
isn't.
totally different atmosphere over there. And our library, again, is voted one of the best, I thought the best in Middlesex County.
Well, I bet it is. It's a beautiful
And that's not
place.
because we have more books than any other library. It's because of all the other activities we have associated now with the library. It's like a community center almost.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really outstanding what goes on over there. There's programs almost on a daily basis. So it's always open. They've gone to online for a lot of issues now. You can pretty much download anything 24/7.
Books are almost second.
Extinct.
yeah, that's
Although I
right.
still enjoy to
Yeah.
go there
Oh yeah.
and open a book on a table and sit there and go through it. But
Right.
again, that's something that has to evolve because it's big money. The
Yeah.
libraries are big money.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Big money.
Mayor, speaking of the library, I think it was a nice gesture dedicating it to the memory of Art Haney.
Yeah, well, as we all know, Art was instrumental in getting that building built.
Yes.
A lot of them thought he was crazy back then when he
Yes, I
wanted to
remember.
invest. Now he's a genius
Yeah,
because his name is on it.
Yes.
So just goes to show you, how things change. And I was proud. I was lucky in the right place at the right time that I was able to dedicate that building, the Art Haney building, because as a mayor, I know how hard it is to get something done. I can't imagine it getting a building.
I remember when it started. I
Yeah, the
remember
Taj
when
Mahaney,
it
right?
started. Yeah, Taj.
And it had some.
Yeah.
It had some
Yeah.
problems during construction.
Yeah.
But everybody was very forceful. Barbara Cannon had a
Yep.
big role in getting that
Yes.
completed. So we thank Barbara also for having the guts. It would have been easier for her to just say forget it.
Yeah.
But they got the building built, and here we are so many years later. It is really.
It's a showpiece.
It's a jewel.
Yeah, it is.
It is a jewel in the town, jewel in the county. So we're lucky, Art, and I think well deserving that his name is.
Yeah,
up
it was a
on that.
nice gesture. Mayor, more sober note, you don't hear much lately about opioid addiction here in the township. You're hearing a lot, on the other hand, about vaping.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Well, we still have, as every town in the United States of America has an opioid
Yeah,
problem.
but it seems to be muted here. We don't seem
We
to
are
see as
reducing
much.
the number of fatalities, people who
Yes,
die.
sir.
I think in 19 we had 8, or I'm not sure about 8. But the problem is we've had close to 50, as they say, reversals, where they could have gone, but we brought them back with the Narcan.
With the Narcan.
Narcan has made a significant difference in the amount of people that have died. It has not reduced the number of people that are participating in the opioid.
Right, just
We're
amazing.
trying as hard as we can here in Oldbridge with addiction. We just did, we made all the parents come from 8th graders that are going to be graduating, had to come to a forum where people talked to them and told them, open up your eyes, this is what you need to look for. Half the kids in this room are experimenting, and the parents
Yeah,
don't want to hear
it's
it.
tragic.
But they were very thankful that we brought it to their attention. And what a problem still exists here in Old Bridge, the state and the country. It's unfortunate. And now the vaping. Let's throw vaping
yeah.
on top. The opioid problem seemed always to be after college,
Yes, sir.
but the vaping problem is in our schools. A lot of children, for some reason, are vaping. I don't know why. I don't know if they think it's cool, if it makes them fit in. We don't know. I don't know. But it's not permitted in school, but yet the kids are doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very harmful to their health.
It's turning into
expensive.
its own addiction.
It's going to turn into its own crisis, I
Yes,
believe.
sir.
And you see so many states they banned the vaping products for 6 months.
Yeah.
Take a time out and let's get a handle on this. The original vaping was to help people quit smoking, and it's turned into a whole multi-billion-dollar business now. We're trying to attract people to
Yes.
vaping with flavors
Right.
and all kinds of pretty-looking packaging, and that packaging is being black marketed, and some people are being very evil by putting stuff in those packages, trying on purpose to addict that young child.
Yeah, it's gone
to
beyond just
something.
mere water that's
It's
vapor.
not. It's not steam
Now it's
anymore.
becoming,
It's flavors. It's oils. It's everything. Who knows? It's heroin. It's fentanyl. It's really scary when you.
And there's a number of young people dying from it every day,
Yep.
from something that seems harmless.
Yeah, and the numbers are staggering. That the amount of kids that are
Always something
vaping
out
or
there,
trying.
Mayor.
It's always
something out there.
Well, I tell you, I'm glad I grew up when I grew up.
Yeah, so
we
am
had
I.
a couple of vices, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you, they're stronger today, devices. Mayor, looking ahead, put your crystal ball in operation. Looking ahead next year or so, what are you seeing? If I can introduce one topic is control farm. That's been on the books for a while.
Yes.
What do you see there? What do you see beyond control
We had a
farm?
nice meeting with the county a few weeks ago in December. I went up there, me, Mr. Shah, our township engineer, Nicole Shapiro went up there. We sat down with the freeholder director. We sat down with the business administrator. And we all agreed that we want to move forward with this project. We got delayed a little bit with the archaeological dig,
Right.
because of historical factors. But we think we're all through that now. We've adjusted the plan a little bit. So Nicole is putting the bid specs out. And as I said last year, and we were going to break ground.
Right.
And I'm hoping to break ground in 2020 on the control farm. We received a $1 million grant from Green Acres program. We've put $2 million worth of township money up in 19, another $2 million in 20. So we have about $5 million war chest. We're hoping the county comes through with enough money to finish it.
Okay.
And that's going to be another jewel in the town once we get the control farm.
Okay, Mayor,
moving
we're sort
forward.
of coming to the end of our gathering today. One other thing you're looking to accomplish, if you want to, in addition to control farm.
Well,
can you cite
as
one
I
other
said,
thing?
I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
We faced some challenges in 2020, some man-made, some nature. We don't know what the weather's going to bring us this year.
Right.
The man-made challenges we face, we talked about a little bit off the air. The recycling
Yes, sir.
business has seemed to be changing. It's going to have a big impact on our community. In 2020, we're doing everything we can to alleviate the impact, but I can tell everyone it's going to have an impact on our recycling just because of the way the industry has changed
Right.
over the last couple of years, where it used to be paid to get recycled. Now we have to pay to get rid of
Pay to
recycling.
get rid of stuff.
Yeah, and it's big
that's-
money. It's
yeah,
not,
we'll have to talk more about that. I'm sure,
we
on
could probably
future
have a whole
shows.
show. We'll bring
Yeah.
Kyle. Maybe we can get the county recycling people in here to talk and discuss and how important it is and what to do, what not to do with the contamination nowadays of recycling. But 2020, I want to keep the town stable. We have a great team in place to take anything on. I got to watch what I say.
Right.
But I'm confident in our ability to get things done here in 20 and make it another really very prosperous year, and a year that presents opportunity to everyone.
Okay, Mayor. Well, we want to wish you the best of luck as you
Gene,
said.
if I just may, I'd just like
Yes,
to
please.
mark the passing of Councilman Rich Green.
Yes, I should have mentioned that. Yes, sir.
Long time Ward 5 councilman. I don't even know how many years it was, but it was a long
He had
time.
about 4 terms.
At
Yeah.
least 4 terms,
Yes,
and he
sir.
might have came in half term.
He came in to succeed
Yeah,
Pete
so
Menino
It
years
was
ago.
a long time, and Rich was a fierce advocate for Ward 5. You've seen him in action on
Yes.
the council.
Yeah.
If it was Ward 5, it was right.
Yeah.
And so the people of Ward 5 were lucky to have somebody like Rich for that many years.
Yes.
And it's, we want to keep Rich and your thoughts and his family in our thoughts and prayers in 2020.
Okay, well, thank you for mentioning that, Mayor, and thank you for being with us today. Best
Anytime,
of luck
Jim.
going forward. We're looking forward to meeting with you many more times on some of these
I
other
look forward
issues.
to coming on TV and
Okay.
talking to the residents.
And
getting
Happy
things
New
done.
Year. Best of luck.
Yes, everyone
Okay.
in Old Bridge, thank you.
Good next 4 years.
Yes, we'll take one day at a time.
Okay, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Folks, this has been Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. We've been chatting about a little bit looking back, a little bit looking forward in the mayor's 3rd term. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time with the mayor. Take care. I'm Gene McLaughlin.